Well, hello everyone. Byron and Belka here. Thanks for tuning in. Good evening, good day, wherever you're at in the world. I'm just glad that you're tuning in to take a couple of minutes to learn about something that's changing so many people's lives. It's changed mine. And with everything that's taking place right now in today's world, it's so important that we know of the options that are out there. We know that things are changing and we can position ourselves in front of those to make sure that one, we're in a better situation. And this last year, even though it's been crazy for so many reasons, with what we're doing, it has shown that this is not just relevant, but it's important. And so if you have something to write with, write on, or we're just going to take a couple minutes and just give you a quick little overview on what it is that we're doing, how we're using this platform to create freedom in people's lives. I mentioned my name, Byron Belka. I've been in this industry for 18 plus years. And I had a mentor of mine who was a multimillionaire grab me by the arm when I was about 26 years old and showed me what to do. And I've always believed that if people have a chance, I've always felt like if somebody would just give me a chance, show me what to do, then I would do it. But I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do things. And what transpired was with this mentorship, I was able to create some freedom that I've been able to be blessed with for quite some time now. And I wanted to pay that forward. And with what we have here at Rain, I've never seen anything as powerful as this. And I know that you would expect me to say that because whoever's going to be presenting whatever, they're going to tell you that what they have is great, right? But this was so impressive to me that I was a distributor for this company. And when I saw what these products and what this did, after experiencing everything that I've experienced, I found partners, investors. We invested millions of dollars and have invested tens of millions of dollars since because of what this is doing. This is huge. And so for those people that want to know a little bit more about what this is, it's better to hear from people who have done it than just somebody talking about it. And I don't want you to just believe me, I know I put my money where my mouth is, and that's one of the reasons why I've asked one of our special guests, Paul Engemann, to join me tonight, because Paul has seen a lot of success in his life in different avenues, and then he came across this platform as well years ago, and I'm going to let him kind of explain his story. But what really differentiates us? What makes things different? See, you've got to be able to solve a problem. You've got to be able to help people. And if you can help people and add value, success chases you down. And you've got to find something that affects the masses. And what we found here is obviously what's going on. People are concerned about their health. They're concerned about their immune systems. They're concerned about their well-being. And we need to get the nutrients that we're not getting because of the stress in our lives and the toxicity in our environments. Our water's dirtier, our air's dirtier, everything around us is more toxic than it's ever been. So we got to go back to the basics of where everything starts. And it starts with the seed. Everything starts with the seed. We are a seed nutrition company. And we have found that the density that you find in seeds, you can't get enough in juice. You can't get enough in oil. You can't get enough in any other form. In fact, there are things in a seed that once that plant has developed, they're not there anymore. They were used up. See, we want to be able to use those chemical compounds in our DNA and have benefits as well. Now, there's a ton of science behind this, but what I love about it is it's common sense science, right? Before a tree was a tree, a bush was a bush, a plant was a plant, it was a seed. And that's where we've started. That's where we're at. And we're seeing crazy results all across the globe because we're going to the source of nutrition, giving people dense nutrients. And Paul, I know that you've had an experience, and first off, I just want to thank you for joining us. Thanks for being on here.
Absolutely. You have my camera turned off. So
can you not turn your camera on?
I can't turn it on.
Okay, well, let me do that real quick. Let's get that fixed. We need to see you.
I can see you, but you can't see me.
That's no good. There we go. See if that adjustment works.
Okay, now let's see if I can turn me on. Hey, there I am.
There we go.
Okay.
All right, Paul. Hey, well, sorry about that. I mean, we want to see and not just hear from you. But no, I really do appreciate you taking time being here because, I mean, I know you've had some experience in this space, and I'll let you kind of share your experience and story, but what was it that brought
My
you?
pleasure, Byron. And I love rain. I mean, rain is in my heart. And, I had, in my young life, I was a rock singer. Some people know I had some hit records back a million years ago in the 80s. It's kind of funny. I just got contacted by the Rolling Stone magazine, believe it or not. They want to do an interview about my Scarface soundtrack. I sang this song called Push It to the Limit. And here we are 36 years later. And you know that I'm still getting checks for that. And
Wow.
so I was attracted to network marketing because I had started some traditional businesses and they were successful businesses, but they required my presence. I had to be there doing that thing or I wasn't making any money. So I had a friend who started a network marketing company. It was interesting to me. I learned about it. I hopped in and I was very blessed. I learned from some great people. I had some great mentors, but I became a multi-million-dollar earner in that business. But I heard about Rain, and through a series of events, I've been here 4.5 years. And I got to tell you, when Derek Winkle gave me my upline, my dear friend, gave me a packet of Soul and a packet of Core, I took it and I thought, wow, that's a little different. And then all of a sudden, it's just like my body knew. You know how like sometimes you're starving and you don't realize it until you take the first bite of something and you go, oh my gosh, I'm dying. I gotta eat something. Well, my body felt like that. And so when I took that in, I went, oh wow, this is amazing. I can really feel something here. And then, I knew that it was anti-inflammatory and anti-aging, which, that's always a good thing, right?
Mhm.
And antioxidant. So I started using it. I had great benefits myself. Then I started sharing it, with others. And as I look at some of the things that have happened around me, for my friends, for my family, for the people that I love and care about, I just can't imagine having said no to this. I can't imagine like not having those blessings around me. I'd feel so guilty thinking about what if I said no to this? There would be very different results. Gosh, well, Temple Swift is a friend of mine. She's in Canada. I don't know. Is she on with us,
Yeah,
Byron?
I'll pull her. Yeah, I'll pull her in right now.
Let's see if she's on with us. I thought I saw her on there.
Yeah, Temple's here.
Hey, Temple. Now we got to turn her mic on, huh? And her camera.
There we go. We got that on.
We're getting there. Hi.
There we go. There we go. Welcome.
So Temple actually worked with us in the previous network marketing company that I was in. I've known Temple, gosh, I don't know, like 15 years, right, Temple? But I shared this with Temple, and Temple, I'm going to let you tell your story because it's pretty dramatic, and it makes me so happy every time I hear it. So I'm going to pass it over to you.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Paul and Byron, for allowing me on the call today. I really think that it's my duty to pay it forward and to tell my story. And so I really appreciate that. And just the opportunity to work with you both is excellent. So with Rain, I started with listening to Paul because, he's my mentor and somebody that I looked up to in a previous business. And I really was excited that he included me in just the research and information. Now, I was looking for something initially to just stay off of my allergy and asthma medication because I needed a high antioxidant diet and it was working for me and I was medication free and I wanted to continue that. And what I discovered 6 months into taking Rain that did work really well for my allergies and asthma, which is perfect season to be talking about that as well. But what I discovered is I had what looked like a stroke. The whole left side of my face went numb, my left arm, my left fingers, and my hand. And it turned out it wasn't a stroke. It was a brain tumor right in the center of my forehead. And what I learned was the high antioxidant, high anti-inflammatory rich diet with Soul and Core is that I could work towards shrinking my brain tumor. And it sounded ridiculous at the time, like who could shrink a brain tumor? But what I did, and I had 5 MRIs and 5 CAT scans. This was my tumor before in January, and this was my tumor in June, and it was gone. And I shrunk it in 3 months. Basically, I had it in January, but I didn't start doubling up on the product until March 23rd to June 23rd, and I shrunk it. And it's completely gone. And I didn't require brain surgery. But not only that, I've gone on to help 13 other brain tumor survivors either help shrink their tumors to the point of being able to have surgery or to reduce their symptoms enough to enjoy life. And that feels like I'm so blessed to be able to pay it forward. It gives me goosebumps to think that if I hadn't listened to Paul that evening when he was telling me about rain, I may have, scar ear to ear, or they would have had to have broken my nose and gone up and taken the brain tumor out. And now I feel like I feel really blessed. And so we are going on to help many people. It's different for everyone. Everyone's different in the reaction to it and how many they need to take. But I took 2 Soul and 2 Core daily for 3 months. And I'm here to tell about it and be able to share it with others. So.
Well,
Oh, thank you, Temple. We got to be sure that we let people know that we don't claim to, treat or diagnose or prevent or cure, anything. But you can go out and research these ingredients. There's all sorts of medical research and scientific research on black cumin and many things. You can draw your own conclusions. but the products do wonderful things for people. And the products are not the miracle. Your body is the miracle. But you got to give your body what it needs in order to be that. And unfortunately, we live in a world where even though we might try, it's really hard to get the nutrition that we need because we live in a world where nutrition is kind of dying. 80% of what we eat to 90% comes from GMO crops. We've got all kinds of fillers and preservatives and chemicals in our food, and then we're exposed to all kinds of pollutants, and we have a daily life full of stress. No wonder our bodies are stressed out and we're walking around totally inflamed. It's just what our life is. But the beautiful thing with Soul and Core and these products, Soul was originally developed by the University of Maryland. I mean, it was by really smart people there. Is that it can make up that nutrition deficit. It can go to work in your body and reduce that inflammation and fight that free radical damage and slow down the aging clock of the cells. And we see all kinds of miraculous things. And that's why, Temple has such an amazing story. When I first started looking at this, I said, well, how can it help him with his acne and her with her fibromyalgia, and then Temple and the way it helped Temple? That seems crazy, but really what it is giving your body what it needs to perform the way it was designed. Anyway, I'm gonna pass it back to you, Byron, for a second.
Well, no, I mean that, and Temple, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank
Paul,
you,
thank
Temple.
you for sharing
Appreciate
with
it.
Temple, and I know Temple, you're paying it forward, and what you're doing to bless so many other people. It really is just that, and that is we walk around in it and we're malnourished. We're not getting the nutrients that we need, and so as we have these dense nutrients in our body, it gives our body kind of like that buffet. I don't know what you need, but here's a buffet. Pick what you want. And I think sometimes when we think of seeds, we think of seed nutrition, and we look at some of these products that Rain has. We think, okay, well, there's only 2 or 3 or 4 seeds in this. How is it doing this? But you got to understand that a seed has hundreds of chemical compounds, hundreds. And I don't know which one's doing what. A lot of times companies will say, I'm going to take this extract out, or I'm going to take this out. Well, I don't know. I don't know what all the things are needed, or am I taking a piece out of the equation that makes something more powerful? And what we found is we put these seeds together and there's a compounding effect like we have with the black cumin seed, and how it's just a magnifier. And so I love what you're saying, Temple, where you've seen results and you've been able to go out there and with that share. And I'm sure it doesn't feel like you're selling something when you've got something like this. It's good news.
I even helped the rest of my family. I mean, my youngest son had an autoimmune issue with his skin, And we looked at putting it both topically and internally. My oldest son, who plays rep hockey and rep soccer, had multiple concussions. We used the Bright and the Soul with him and his concussions. And I've gone on to share those stories that it is safe for kids, and that I am a mom first, and I am, a stay-at-home mom at that rate, in building this business alongside. So being able to help other moms is also very blessing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, like you're saying, there's a ton of science, and we can show people science, and that's important. But what I think really matters is when it comes close to home. When you see it happen in people's lives who you care about, yourself, friends, family, loved ones, it's great that the science is there. But, when you look at somebody you love and you see they got part of their life back, do you need anything else than that? I mean, it's more powerful than I think all the volumes of science that could back it up, which is important and necessary too. But we're after the result. People want the result. And that's what I love about the dense nutrients. So Temple, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing that. Being willing to
Thanks, Temple.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
See, so, and the thing is, this is what I saw. This is one of the reasons why, when I was looking at this, and when I was a distributor for this company, and I had the chance to see what it was doing for people that were close to me, I was shocked. I wasn't quite sure, why or how or what was going on. And I was shocked that, things were happening, and I didn't know why. And now we do. And so the thing that makes me excited about this, Paulo, is that we've taken this opportunity. And usually when you have something this big, you're going to have companies and they don't share it. But we've invested the money, we've got it, the distributors have taken over, and we've got something bigger than just a product. It's a category. And the reason that that's important is because, if we're going to spend our time doing something, you want to make sure it's not going to disappear in a year or it's not relevant later. And when we're talking about seed nutrition, and when we're talking about a new way to get nutrients into people's bodies, it's not just about, the nutrients. We live in a society where it better be convenient too, because if we all know that we need to do certain things, but sometimes when it's not convenient, we don't do it. And I love the fact it's convenient, it's self-serve, we can take it with us. And I know that, I'm not going to get my children to be able to most likely, juice 7 to 8 green smoothies, but I can get them to take core. I can get them to take one gulp, and it might not taste like candy. It's greens, but one gulp. And I know that they're leaving the house, and I've kind of slammed the door shut, at least on those green nutrients that they need. And I can't tell you, what that means is, a parent or just seeing people that you care about. And, as you have this platform that we talk about here, and we see that what we're doing, like you talked about, you being in the music business, you did something, you get paid again and again. It's beautiful to be able to cut all kind of the middle people out and just say, here's what we want to do. We want to benefit the people that help us get it to the world. And right now, there are people looking for things. There's the number one search still this last year on Google has been home-based business, or how to make money from home. And with everything that's transpired, things that we maybe kind of took for granted. I know in this industry, we work from home. We're used to being on Zoom. Sure. We're used to doing all these things. The rest of the world wasn't used to that. But we've been able to grow as a company all across the globe because of the way that this is set up and the way that this is structured. And I know you have teams all across the world. When you started by yourself.
Let me tell you something. Happened? This is just amazing to me because, of course, I in my previous business, I had a team of about 60,000 people. I have tens of thousands of people in this business now. I'm still working real hard. I want 100,000. I want 200,000. I want to bless that many lives. Yeah. But what's really cool is this is something that goes viral all by itself. And I'm going to give you an example. I sponsored a lady named Stacy Shiflett. Stacy, if you're watching, hello. And Stacy got on the product, and she's on a charitable board with another lady, and so Stacy been on the product for about a month or so. She got on a Zoom just like this with the rest of the board for this charity, and they were like looking at her and going, Stacy, like, what's going on, girl? You're like vibrating at a whole other level. You look amazing. What are you doing? Spill it, So she told them about, the Rain products and what she'd been doing with Seed Nutrition. And another gal joined and that's Victoria Rader, Dr. Rader, and she is amazing. And now, because of that, we have distributors in the US, Ukraine, Hungary, Spain, England, Ireland, Finland, Russia. And this is just from one person using the product and somebody noticing it. So yeah, I mean, I have teams all over the world, and it really just happens because somebody tells somebody who tells somebody else who tells somebody. It's just like, you know, when YouTube videos go viral, all of a sudden, boom, you got 6 million views. It's the same thing. When people find something valuable, they tell somebody about it. Yeah. And that's what we do. It's social commerce. We do it naturally because as human beings, that's what we do. We share. This is just a platform where you can actually get paid for that. Yeah. And where you can actually create a network of people who use and recommend Rain products and bless other people's lives, but then you create ongoing legacy income for you and for your family. Not everybody can go, you know, can sing a theme song for a movie, but everybody.
I can't put that check mark by that box, Paul.
But everybody can share Rain and have the same kind of residual income and bless those lives. And I'm just excited to be a part of it. I'm excited to watch what's happening. You know, Byron, I live in Provo, Utah. I think you live a little bit further south, but we live in Utah County, which is, those watching may not know this, but this is Mecca of network marketing. I mean, this is the nerve center of all network marketing on earth. And I've seen companies explode. As a matter of fact, the company that you came from, I watched explode. You know, my direct upline in this, Derek Winkle, was in the same company with you. He was in that company for 5 years, from 1985 to 1990. It took them that long to get to $50 million a year in sales. And then the very next year, because they hit this critical mass, they went from 50 to $500 million a year in sales. So I was very excited when I learned that Rain was knocking on that door. When I joined, Rain was just coming up on that $50 million a year benchmark. I know that we've surpassed that now, but I really feel like we're knocking on the door of that kind of momentum. And those who hear about this and find this valuable and start building a team and start talking to folks about it. It's not brain surgery. You just have to tell somebody, hey, I found something cool, right? They can participate in that wave of growth that's so exciting. Because what happens to people's incomes when a company goes into momentum, the company does 10 times the volume, but your income goes up by 10 times too. Yeah. And that's really an exciting thing to participate in. That's what's happening here. I just tell people, look, you know, knowing what you know now, if you could go back in time when, you know, when they were building the first Apple computer in that garage in Northern California, what would you pay now? How hard would you try to be a part of that? If you could go back in time and say, hey, listen, how much money can I give you? How can I be part of this? I want in. Like, how hard would you try? I am telling you, Rain is like in that garage in Northern California right now. And it is about to go all over the world. We're poised. We've got, you know, it's all there. You guys have done the infrastructure. You've spent the tens of millions of dollars with warehouses and infrastructure and systems all over this globe. And now all somebody has to do is just buy a little product and start telling people about it. And they can be in that garage in Northern California.
I love that. No, you know, Paul, I love how you're saying that, because it really is. It always starts with a few people. I mean, and you look at everything that's going on right now and you think, okay, people want to work from home. Check. People are interested in becoming healthier, especially now. Check. People are maybe nervous that their economy and their currency isn't going to be as strong or stable moving forward. You know, I don't want to just base everything on one economy. Check. I mean, everything that could be on a checklist that somebody's saying, you know what, hopefully people's eyes have been opened to the fact that change can happen like that. And, you know, putting all of our eggs in a basket that could be taken away from us, I think all of us have had our eyes open. That's one of the reasons why I believe, you know, we've seen the growth that we've seen, because what we're doing is validated. And not only that, but we're having that same mentality, probably not the best analogy, but if it's like Coca-Cola coming to a city or a state or a country where it doesn't exist, and they say, hey, you help us get this into the marketplace. And every time somebody, you know, twists the cap off of that bottle, opens up a can, whatever, we're going to pay you, not the first time, every time. Because we're not just building something for us. We're building something long-term, a legacy company. We want people's children and children's children to benefit from this. And when you have something as strong as seed nutrition, how broad is that? You know, I feel like once again, I mean, I love what I do. I love being able to make a difference in people's lives, but I still am, I love to compete. I love to win. And I love that what we have here is relevant. If seeds don't exist, we don't exist. And so it's almost like, you know, someone can have a great juice. Great. I can use the seed. Checkmate. Somebody else can have, you know, this great oil. Great. I have the seed where it came from. Checkmate. You know, what can't we do with seeds? And then being able, the thing that frustrated me the most when I first got in this space is I was in a lot of places around the world where people just economically weren't the same as what we're used to in America or other places. And they had the desire, they were willing to work, but it wasn't set up for the masses to win. It wasn't set up for people to work part-time. And so when you have distributors take over a company, one of the first things that we want to do is we want to be able to make sure that the masses can win. And, you know, without, I mean, today our goal isn't to go too deep into product. It's not to go too deep into this or that, but we've got all of these things. If things make sense, you learn as you go. Even if I explained everything about the science on every one of our products and everything about how we get paid, okay, you're not going to understand it all, but do you understand where we sit in the marketplace? You understand,
you know, Byron, if you'd excuse me for interrupting, I'll just say that one of the things that's so attractive about this, I believe, is that the concept is very simple and very intuitive. It just makes sense that seeds have concentrated nutrition. You put this little tiny thing in the ground and it becomes a giant redwood tree. How did that happen? Well, that seed has a concentration of information and nutrients and energy in it that if we can access that nutrition, then our bodies can benefit from it. Seeds have all of the proteins, the minerals, the enzymes, the vitamins, the minerals, everything, the essential fatty acids that we need. And the concentration is 20 to 30 times more dense than what's in the plant that comes out of that seed. Of course, you can't eat a bowl of seeds. They'll just go right through you. So luckily, Rain has found a way to cold press that nutrition out. But as a business person, looking at that, I'm thinking, how big can this get? I mean, like, how scalable is this? What can we do with that concept? It's freaking endless. Yeah. There are thousands and thousands of seeds that have been studied at major institutions. And you can go read all the research. Just go Google a seed. So we can do anything from soup to nuts as far as a product goes and still stay true to that very, very simple concept, which is it's a seed. It comes from a seed. All life comes from a seed. And the power of the seed is that it's got such a dense, nutrient-packed power, and we're giving it to you in a way that is undamaged from the seed. It's brilliant. Yeah. The other thing I want to say before I shut up is when I first met with you guys, you know, I came from a company where the product was great, the compensation plan was great, everything, but the people, unfortunately, were a little unethical. And I just have to say, working with you, Byron, is just amazing. And is a guy that Byron is completely ethical. He's a terrific guy. I've never worked with somebody where I've had so much cooperation from a corporate level and where there's just honestly a love from Byron to to the field. And it's not fakey BS. It's real. I just want to tell you, this man cares about the people that are in this company, and he wants them to win. So there you go. Back to you, Byron.
I appreciate that. Well, it's because I feel like, once again, I'm a distributor in my heart. This is what I love to do. I mean, I love to watch one person turn into 100, to turn into 1,000, to turn into 10,000, and watch lives change. I love seeing people that were in old communist 10-story buildings that didn't ever think that they would have a car or a house or anything, make 7 figures a month. But it's not just being a millionaire. It's the people that a couple $100 a month changes lives. Yeah. Extra money for groceries, for kids to do things, for gas, I mean, it's so powerful when people have that additional freedom. And to have that limit taken off of somebody based on what they want to accomplish, I think it's key. And we want to reward all these different ways. And if we look at some of the ways that we do, I mean, we've thrown a lot of these things out there. Now, I'm not going to spend tons of time, but our whole business is about customers, and everything's about product. If we don't have product doesn't move, then we don't make money. And it's not about making money, but how can we afford to do something that's going to change the world if we can't take care of ourselves? So in the process of blessing other people, we get blessed. And how we've done this is we put things together where, we want people to make hundreds to thousands of dollars a week, not a month, a week on the front end of our plan. You can make hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands in the middle, and you can make tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands on the long-term play. And this is, like I said, we're set up to be a legacy company. We guarantee that 50% of all volume that comes into the company gets paid out, guaranteed. See, the reason we've guaranteed that is because we know what usually happens. It goes back to the house. Yeah. People don't earn it, it goes back to the house. Guess what we do? We are forced to pay it out in one way or another. And I love that, because that protects everybody going out there and doing the work. Now, without really confusing people, somebody goes out there and just gets a couple people on our flagship product sold. We've sold hundreds of millions of dollars with Soul. And you heard Temple talk about Soul and Core. Well, how do you sell hundreds of millions of dollars of anything when you don't do any marketing except for word of mouth? It better work. That's how you do it. And even on this, somebody goes and gets 10 people and bless their life with Soul. Every single month, they're making an extra $200. $200 for 10 customers. You could go, you go get 20 customers and you're making $400 a month. That's probably more than most rental properties after you pay your mortgage and pay for this and pay for that. We're talking about residual income, leveraged income, like you mentioned, Paul. And that is key. $500 a month, if somebody's making $500, they might say, well, that's not a lot of money. Well, that's like $100,000 in the bank at 6%, which you would never get. At 3%, you'd have to have $200,000 in the bank if you could ever have that. $200,000 in the bank at 3% annually would give you $500. Or go get a couple of customers.
Yeah. It's almost a ridiculous comparison, isn't it?
No, it really is, because a lot of times people think that it's the same kind of money. This is something that we build upon what we've already built. And when we have customers, we give the customers a chance to get their products for free. We get people involved. We give extra bonuses for people doing that. And when you help people get people, because this goes viral, you get paid on that. There's a lot of affiliate programs that are popping up left and right. But why do you want to just get paid one level? When you did the work, and then if they share it, you don't get anything. The company still does, but you don't. Or maybe you get two paid. If somebody gets somebody, you get 2 levels on an affiliate. But what if it goes viral? Who benefits? Why should just the company benefit? See, we've set it up where we can benefit because we were the ones that started the chain reaction. Shouldn't that happen? Shouldn't that be the case? And if all we do is get 2 and help 2 get 2, and you get the right 2 and this exponentially grows, it can turn into thousands. Now, it never works perfectly like that. I'm not going to say all you got to do is get 2. But we have people that have more than 8,000. We have people that have tens of thousands. Like you said, you have thousands and thousands of people on your team, Paul. Mm-hmm. And if everybody just purchases, see, we want to make it a team approach. We want to build down so everybody can be, we can benefit as a whole. And whether it's making $500 a week or $5,000 a week, we pay every single Friday. And this is a scenario, just one way we pay, it's team commissions. Once you have 300 points on one side, 300 points on the other side, as you have 2 teams that go down, you get $30. Now, I don't care where that volume came from. It can come from anyone, anywhere. And that's the beauty of this, is it really is, we call it team commissions because it is a team. It's not just about one person doing it, and you only benefit off of that. And then as your team makes money, we bonus you off of how well your team did, even though you got paid the volume that your team generated. So you get bonus off of how well your team does. And that's what I love about Rain, is you're not going to have somebody on the stage at Rain making all this money, seeing all this success, and nobody in the audience is seeing any success. See, we benefit people. It's based on them helping other people win too. And so you look at how we put things together. I don't want to confuse people with compensation, because really all we've got to do is get 2 people. We help those 2 people get 2 people, and we get 2 customers. That is what we call a Rain partner team. And if that happens, you've more than made your money back. Your product's free. And how big do you want it to go? That's the building block of the business. You build 5 of those, there's a certain degree of freedom you're going to have. 10, 15, 20, 30, you're going to have a certain degree of freedom. So it's, how big do you want to build this? We're in 45 plus countries right now. So if somebody were to join us, they're joining us basically by buying product. They get the back office, they get an app, they get everything translated in all the different languages. They can do business instantly in all the different markets. And if you have somebody, I mean, I don't know, Paul, this is kind of a rhetorical question, because I know you know the answer, and but you don't have to, you don't have to worry about currency conversion. You don't worry about somebody else making a sell in a different market, or somebody buying product, like you said, in all these countries. You still get paid what? Here in local currency every single, we worry about that.
Exactly. I don't even have to worry about being an expert about the product. All I have to be able to do is pick up my phone, open the Rain app, tap the screen, and send a video to my friend that explains it. I mean, it's so simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. This is really 21st century network marketing. And what I love about this business model, Byron, you talked about it. I can't be successful unless I help my team be successful. To me, it's the most moral business structure on earth. You know, okay, if you work for a corporation and you're the new person in the department, like, you know, if I worked at IBM and I walked in there, nobody would go, "Oh, yay, Paul's here. Let's help Paul get a promotion," because they're all competing with me for that promotion. But in our business, that's exactly what we say. "Oh, fantastic. You know, Mary's here. Mary joined the team. Let's help Mary. Let's help her understand what to do next. Let's help her get the promotion," because in our business, everybody can be the CEO. You're the CEO of your own business, and you can make it as big as you want. You can, you know, however you see your business, that's how you can make it, assuming that you're willing to plug into the system, keep it simple, do the work, and work with your upline that desperately wants to help you be successful, because their success depends on your success. I love this business model for that.
Well, as you bring that up, what I love is that, yes, it is no respecter of persons. You know,
No.
it doesn't matter your background, your education, what country, it doesn't matter. You know, and I love how you said that. You know, if you've got that work ethic and you can be consistent and, you know, follow a system, you know, that, you go to a McDonald's, and a lot of times you'll see, you know, a 17-year-old manager. They're 17, they're managing this store, they're doing millions of dollars a month in sales. And how? They're 17. What kind of business experience do they have? It's because they were plugged into a system that works. And they just need to follow that system. Yeah. And see, that's the beauty. That's why people will spend millions of dollars for a franchise. It's a proven system. Mm-hmm. And so if you can come in and be mentored by people who are seeing success, have systems in place, have products that work, have infrastructure around the globe, tens of millions of dollars invested. You probably couldn't even set up your own web shop for less than joining an infrastructure like what we have. And then the sky is the limit. Yeah. The sky is the limit. And that's what I love. So I don't care how aggressive somebody wants to be. Obviously, I've always had bigger goals, but I love the fact that, you know, people can start at whatever level and they can grow from that point. It doesn't necessarily matter. If somebody wants to move faster, obviously we have a kit for that. If somebody wants to, come in, if they want to supplement income, if they want to replace income, if they're saying, you know what, I don't want to replace, okay, that wasn't, I want to double, triple, I want, whatever their goal is, we can show them that, yes, there's work involved in consistency, but aren't we doing that anyway? Don't we work hard at what we do anyway? And so the thing that I love about this platform is the world is seeing this is the future. Where's everybody going? Where are you seeing things happen online? We're there. And so if people were doubting social commerce, if people were doubting working from home, if people were doubting building something that is yours, which I don't understand then hopefully those doubts are gone. Because what would have happened in 5 to 10 years where things were going online, where Paul, you and I were doing online meetings and doing Zoom, and some people were like, what's Zoom? Everybody knows what online meetings are now.
They sure do.
Everyone does. And so it really just comes down to, what does somebody want to accomplish? It's not about what I want. It's not about what do they want? And then how do we help them get that? How do we help them get that? And then there's no reason why, since I've seen, and I know you've seen, just about every type of person win. It doesn't matter. As long as they're willing, they have that desire, they're teachable, and they're willing to follow a system.
Well, and for some people, their idea of what they want to create is they want to make an extra $500 a month. Great. We can show you how to do that. Some people want to make, a few $1,000s a month. Perfect. We've got a plan for you. Others want to make huge money. We've got a plan for that too. But it's your decision. And this is a business that you can fit into the corners of your life just because it's natural to talk to somebody about something that you have found valuable and that has helped you and that's blessed you. And it just becomes part of your life to say, hey, oh, let me tell you about this,
Mm-hmm.
And you can build a business that way. You can also be very purposeful and build a huge business following a system. But that's it. That's what's so great about it. You can make this what you want it to be. And you'll have people there behind you. You join a business, but it's not like somebody says, oh, okay, Mary, well, there's the website. Here's your kit. Dive in, swim. Hope you make it. No, it really is a cooperative effort because the people that went before you are there to support you. You're in the business for yourself. It's your business, but it exists in their business. So you're in the business for yourself, but not by yourself. Mm-hmm. And certainly if you want to reach out and if you want the help and if you want to do the work, I promise you, there are people that will want to help you do that and will teach you exactly what to do because they benefit. And it's kind of like, sort of a benevolent self-interest because they win when you win.
Yeah, well, that's a great point. And Paul, you being in this industry and seeing it go through different economical time frames. I mean, what do you think the timing is right now?
Oh my gosh. It is so ripe right now. Listen, there are so many people who've been hurt and suffering, and I feel terrible for them. And I feel a responsibility in this current situation that we're in, where there's been this artificial lid on our economy and where people's livelihoods have just been robbed from them because of these circumstances. Rain grew by 22% last year during the worst, crisis in how long in this country. And that's because people are interested in health. They're very interested now, and they're interested in augmenting and sustaining their immune systems. But also people have realized the illusion of security is precisely that. It's an illusion. That job that you thought was so secure, is it? And so people are very open now to listening to other options, things that they can do that will be a plan B, that can, be there in case, or even overtake and help them make more than they had made. And once again, that just gets back to what's your goal? What do you want to create from this? And we'll support you in that. But yeah, I've just never seen a more exciting, ripe time for a business like this, products like this, and an opportunity like this.
Oh, well, thanks, Paul. Well, like you said, as you're saying that, yes, it's a great product, all these different things, but what's resonating in my mind is, I mean, giving hope. I mean, I mean, people need hope. They need to see that there is a way.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I love when I see somebody who maybe lost a little bit of that, regain it and attack life again with energy and excitement, because they know that there's hope and there's something that they can build and that can benefit them and their family. And so,
well, one of the gals on my team, Lori Hamilton, who's just a terrific lady, you know, when people ask her what she does, she says, "I'm a hope broker." Mm-hmm. What's that? And then she can tell them.
Oh, yes. So, you know, as you're hearing this, I mean, once again, we're having a discussion tonight, guys. We're just wanting to be real. We're just wanting to share what our experiences have been and what we've seen. And I love that you've been willing to get on here with me tonight, Paul, and share some of this stuff, you know, wherever somebody is in the world. And really what you got to do is you just got to get more information. And it's not because we're trying to keep it back, but guys, does the concept make sense? If these things make sense, then get back with the person that invited you, and then just let them know, are you in this? Are you interested in supplementing your income? Are you interested in replacing your income, or do you want to do something bigger? And then we'll tell you what you need to do with that. And then we move forward, whether it's a couple hundred, basically for the price of a phone, right? Or less, you have a business that you can go all across the globe. And if you want to move faster, okay, maybe 2 phones. Okay. But that's just how much product you want and how fast you want to move.
Yeah.
But it really comes down to making a decision. The things that have got us to where we're at are not going to be the things that get us to the next level. And we know, just like Jim Rohn has said, you know, for things to change, we have to change. For things to get better, we have to get better. Our circumstances have changed in the globe. Are we going to get left behind, or are we going to get in front of these trends? And are we going to be somebody that shows other people the way, or how they can manage through what we're experiencing, and how we can make sure that we're not vulnerable in the future, like maybe we've been in the past. So it really comes down to just taking action. A decision is only as strong as the action taken after it. And so what would you recommend to anybody that's hearing this right now, Paul? What would be some of their next
My
steps?
recommendation would be, don't hesitate. Don't say, I want to think. What do you need to think about? Honestly, like, there's nothing to think about. The time is now. If not now, when? And if not this, what? You know, 5 years is going to go by. It's going to go by like that. And unfortunately, you know, I've really experienced now that 5 years can go by very quickly, many times. Okay. So where do you want to be in 5 years? You know, do you feel like you're on the path where you want to be? Look around you at work. Is there somebody who's been there 5 years longer than you? That is you in 5 years. Do you want that? You know, we just have to be real with ourselves. If you want more, you got to do something different. Yeah. And this is your opportunity to do it. So I just want to tell you that the person who told you about this did so because they care about you. Yeah. And really, that's what it boils down to. So what I recommend is get back to the person who loved you enough to tell you about this, and just allow them to assist you in the application process. It takes literally 5 minutes, and the product can be on its way to you. You can be using this product that will just rock your world and your health. And you can join a team that's doing some exciting things around the globe.
Absolutely. No, that's true. All right. Well, thank you so much, Paul. Thanks everybody for joining tonight. And guys, seeds, they're here to stay. They're moving forward. And we've got the team, kind of this Rain International that is taking it around the globe. And we love to be able to team up and lock arms with people. And we always say here at Rain, we're going to go out there, make a difference, change lives, and make it rain. So I thank you for joining us. I appreciate every single one of you. Paul, thank you for taking time out of your day.
My pleasure.
And
thanks, everybody.
We just wish you all the best, and hopefully we'll see you on future events like this, either on Zoom, virtually, or in person one of these days. And we'll go out there and change the world one person at a time, starting with ourselves.
Let's go make it rain.
Take care, everybody. Let's make it rain. We'll see you.
Take care, guys.